Alrighty guys, so I'm going to be walking you through exactly how to use your Miro board to actually be able to get sales, right? There's a reason we designed everything on Miro. I'm going to explain the background behind it, the psychology here, why it helps prospects to understand the value, where they can see a visual framework, and more importantly, how it helps you to actually close, right? So we're going to start here on Miro right now. This is once again just using the template that I had already designed previously, and I'm going to walk you through based on the sales script where you guys can plug in your Miro board and how you can explain the value to people. Now, for starters, you do not use this Miro board to read everything off word for word. I may have said that a couple different times in a few modules, but I really want to drive this point home. The last thing you want to do is get around to your presentation stage, right? If we go back here, you've done your whole script, you've gone through, you've gathered your information, and then it's time to transition to the actual pitch, right? And we say, well, what I can do is walk you through the XYZ and show you how we can help you get to blah, blah, blah. Would that be helpful? Yes, that would be helpful. Cool. Let me share my screen and dive straight in. And then you go over here. And the last thing you want to say is, so this is our such and such program. The first thing we want to start off with is a lean, mean, gain phase. Blah, blah. Phase 1, we do this. Phase 2, we do this. Then time efficient workouts. And we do short, sharp workouts, and it's really great. And also, we have our home workout plans, and this is really great because you can train from anywhere. On top of that, we also have access to one-on-one nutrition. And then we have, oh my God, you're talking them to death. Right? You're just like word vomiting everything that you do. That is not the way you want to do this. Okay? The purpose behind the Miro board and our script is this. If we go back to the script, there's a particular section here that is so valuable. And it's right over here, where we're asking them essentially, hey, let's do this just to make sure what we do actually fits in with what you're looking for. Besides just losing weight or getting your training program or whatever the case may be, here is where you would plug in your thing, the result that your client wants to get, obviously, right? It's not just losing weight, for example, right? Then we say, what are you looking for specifically in getting some outside help? Like what would be, your ideal solution or your top criteria right now? And we're asking them all the things that they actually want, okay? After we gather that information, I didn't mention this part in the previous sales training, but this is such an important question, right? If you think about a coin, okay, we've identified one side of the coin, which is everything they want. But what do they not want? Because they can tell us here, yeah, I want support, I want, a custom app, I want all this kind of good stuff. I want to be able to, train from home, whatever. We just know half the story. We haven't asked them probably the most important question here, which is, when it comes to all the things you really dislike and all the stuff you want to avoid in a fitness program, what does that look like to you? Now we get the full picture. When we understand what they're not looking for, what are we doing here? We're gathering information. We know on the emotional standpoint, right, all the things that they want. I want this result because XYZ, right? This is what I've been trying to do in the past. It hasn't worked. This is what I'm looking for practically in a program. This is what I'm not looking for in a program. By the end of your script, you're armed with one thing: information. So when you get around to your pitch, you are not word vomiting everything on the screen. You are selecting bits and pieces to highlight from your program based on all the information they just gave to you. At the end of the day, you can't change what you have. And this is so important, right? You can even mention it in your script. You can say, at the end of the day, we can't change what we have, but this just helps me understand a little bit more about what exactly you're looking for. A couple things happen when they go over to your Miro board. They immediately see, wow, okay, everything's structured. Wow, they've actually got like a full system here. It's broken down into training, nutrition, and one other column. Cool, they actually have structure. And then when you go and you explain, hey, how you mentioned, you're really looking for structure in your training program. You don't just want to be training month after month, not really getting anywhere. You actually want structure in your program. Yeah, well, funny enough that you mentioned that. We actually do this thing within our program, and we break up each phase into a new goal. This keeps you really motivated. It keeps you on track, and it helps us achieve that big end result by the end of the three phases. One more thing, you know how you mentioned as well, that's, the big thing that you really hate is when previous coaches have told you need to be in the gym, sweating it out for 60 minutes a day, busting your ass. You're doing like 7 different exercises. It's a big drain. We don't believe in any of that stuff at all, right? For us, we've noticed with entrepreneurs, you guys are so busy. It's too much of a hassle to say, hey, you need to do all this kind of stuff. You need to train like a bodybuilder. You don't want to actually become a bodybuilder. You're in here. You just want fat loss, like you said, right? Exactly. So for us, if you're training for fat loss, you only need 30, 45 minutes, 3-4 sessions a week. And that's exactly how our workouts are planned out, right? It's just short, sharp, efficient. Most of these other Muppet coaches, they're getting you to train like a bodybuilder. You don't want to become a bodybuilder. Like you said, you just want to lose X amount. You just want to be able to see your abs, right? That's it. Also, you know how you mentioned too, like getting to the gym, trying to get that like memberships, really frustrating. You're at home most of the time. You just want to be able to train in the comfort of your own home. We 100% agree. Like, again, if you're not training to be a bodybuilder, you can get an incredible workout just from home. And so for what we actually do is, for our clients who join the program, we actually order and ship them all of that home workout equipment to their door. For example, like resistance bands, Roman rings, things like that. We found that is honestly all you need to get an incredible workout, right? Is that, does it kind of sound a bit surprising to you? Yeah, totally. Yeah, didn't expect it. Yeah. And that's what we hear a lot of the time when we're talking to people just like yourself. Like, they're surprised. Like, they think they need to be in the gym with all this fancy equipment. It's not like that at all, right? Most coaches, they try and overcomplicate fitness. We just have a really simple approach to your training. Does that all make sense so far? Yeah, got you. That makes sense. Cool, man. Well, onto the nutrition side, because I'm sure you understand nutrition is probably the most important part of, a fat loss, weight loss journey. For us, we've found that asking people to prep their own meals and do all this stuff, and they're worrying about what to eat next, that is more of a headache to them than if they were to just go out, get fast food. And that's why most people can't stick to a diet, right? You know how you mentioned, you've been trying for the past 6 months, stick to a diet, nothing's been working? Yeah, let me ask you something. Were you like given these kind of complicated diets and you had to like prep all the stuff yourself and it was a little bit of a hassle? Yeah, it was a bit of a hassle. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, exactly. And we totally understand that. Once again, as entrepreneurs, you guys have a lot on your plate. So what we do, not only do we pair you up with a private nutritionist of your own, but that nutritionist every weekend will actually go and ship all of your ready-made meals to you. So it arrives Sunday night. It's all on point with the macros that you guys have sat down and designed together. And so all you literally need to do, you don't need to worry about what to cook, how to cook it, how much time it's going to take. It's literally open the fridge, put the food in the microwave and eat. And as long as you eat all the meals that the nutritionist has shipped to you, we know you're going to hit your macros every day. It's taken care of. Your weight loss is pretty much guaranteed. And pretty much every one of the guys that gets a hold of that is blown away. They didn't know that there could be a done-for-you system like that. Is that the kind of thing you think would suit you right now? 100%, that's really cool. Yeah, awesome, man. Besides all that, obviously, we cover the training, we cover the nutrition. These are obviously huge pillars. But a big thing that we do as well is our peak performance stuff. So guys, by the way, I can go on and on and on and on here. But notice, what I'm not doing is reading everything off here word for word, right? I'm completely customizing it to what they said. Before I'm saying anything, I'm mentioning, hey, you know how you mentioned this part, right? And that's really important to you? And you know how you mentioned you really hate doing this? Yeah, I totally agree. And with entrepreneurs, again, you guys are a different breed, but most coaches, they just don't get it. They try and like recommend this cookie cutter program. It doesn't work like that, right? And that's probably the reason why you haven't been able to see lasting results, right? And just like that, I'm plugging in the value from the program that we've designed tailored to what they just said. So when they're on the receiving end, they're like, whoa, this is like exactly what I'm looking for. It's all the things I want, none of the things I hate. Like, sign me up right now. Take my money. Here's my card. That's what's going through their head because it seems so tailored. And remember, you are coming at this with an air of authenticity because you said earlier, like, hey man, at the end of the day, I can't change what we have, right? What we have is what we have. And when they see visually on their screen everything that's there, right? They know you're not just talking shit. It's literally written down in front of them. You're saying exactly what they want, but it's written down. Now, notice some of the stuff I didn't have to mention. I didn't have to mention the three-phase thing. Some people may not even mention that at all, but the time-efficient workouts might be important to them. The at-home workouts might be important to them, right? The fact that they've never been able to stick to a diet is really important, and so I mentioned these two right here. I didn't even mention the lose weight and keep it off thing, right? When it comes to the peak performance, if they've mentioned, hey man, I just have really low energy, great, we can mention a couple of these things. Hey man, do you know how you mentioned like you got a lot of brain fog, kind of low on energy? Yeah, 100%. Honestly, what we've found there is that all comes from a lack of sleep and not enough of the right vitamins, man. And not a lot of people really understand this. And what we do to really be able to see inside your body, essentially, is we equip you with the Whoop Band. I'm not too sure if you're familiar with it, but it's a really incredible health tracker, and it monitors all of your stress, your strain levels, your sleep, your performance. And so it helps us day to day be able to track what your data's like so that we know where to improve. And honestly, what we've found in our program is after 4 weeks, our guys go from having that brain fog, low energy, to peak performance because we actually know what's happening to you inside your body, right? And this is honestly a game changer. And so hopefully you can see, like start to finish, we equip you with the right training for you, all the things you like, none of the things you don't. We pretty much do your nutrition for you. You just need to eat the food, right? And we're monitoring your performance day in and day out to see what's going on. And then by the end of it, you take a step back and you ask them this one question. That pretty much covers everything I needed to share with you, Brian, Pete, Phil, Jessica, whoever the fuck. And say, from your perspective, do you feel like this is what you're looking for? Man, 100%, this is what I'm looking for. Awesome, man. Great to hear. Just to kind of put a number to this, if you were to rate this on a scale from 1 to 10 for you, 1 being it's not going to help you at all, it's a big waste of time, waste of money, you don't see the value, 10 being 100%. This is right on point. This is exactly what you need. You feel confident you're going to be able to get XYZ result within this 12-week period of time. Whereabouts are you sitting right now? Sitting at about an 8. Gotcha, man. 8. What do things need to look like to be really a 10 out of 10 in your eyes? Well, for me, like the support's really important. I just want to make sure I'm getting the right support. Gotcha, man. Is there anything else? Besides the support, just wondering if 12 weeks is going to be enough time for me to actually get the result. Gotcha, man. Anything else besides that? Done. Those are literally the only 2 things. Really glad you said that, man. Pretty much in terms of the support, what we do for you, every single day, your nutritionist is going to be shooting you a text, checking in, making sure you're up to date with your progress. She's obviously monitoring your calories and stuff as well through MyFitnessPal. And so if there's any, issues whatsoever, she's checking in on you, making sure everything's going okay. Besides that, you also have weekly group calls with myself too, and, one-on-one communication to me as well. And blah, 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 blah. And this. In terms of the 12 weeks, I know it might seem like a short amount of time, but honestly, man, let me ask you something. If we're giving you the kind of training plan that is really short and effective, you're only in the gym 3 or 4 days a week, all your nutrition is done for you, and pretty much we eliminate a lot of the friction that most people face when trying to lose weight. With a program like this, can you see how after 12 weeks you'd be way ahead of where you are right now? Yeah, 100%. Yeah, and that's exactly why it's a 12-week program, because we know when our clients can follow the system and we make it so easy for them, it's pretty much guaranteed, right? Does that kind of answer your question, man? Yeah, totally. Got you. Whereabouts are you sitting on that scale now? Definitely closer to a 10. Got you. With that said, man, if there's no other questions from your end, the only thing left for me to do is just kind of walk you through, the different investment options and blah, blah, blah. How does that sound? Good, man. And then bang, you're in. That's it. That's done. This is how we use the Miro board. For the past 2 online coaching businesses that I've built, I have designed my offer on Miro. I've refined it on Miro. I've done my pitch and my sales calls through Miro. It's 10x the results because people actually see the value on the screen. They can see it's tailored and customized to them. And it makes it so easy for you to know what value you bring to the table because you've written it down. You know what's on, you know what your program is. It's on the screen, right? If you want to enhance your volume, so enhance your value, write it down. And if you can look at it and it's like, it's kind of basic, it's not really valuable, then keep writing shit down. Then clearly it's not valuable enough yet, right? But if you stand back and like, man, this is pretty fucking awesome, then bang, you've got a great offer, right? That's why we've built out these templates for you guys, right? But hopefully you can see how we actually use the Miro board practically. We didn't just design this for fun. We designed it as a sales tool, a tool to drive more sales. That's what it's about. I have not launched a single business without Miro since. And that's why, predictably and consistently, both of the last two online coaching businesses I've been able to scale to multi-six figures each, right? Each one is easier the next time I do it. And honestly, I credit it to Miro. It's so simple to do. And so by now, you guys would obviously have built out your Miro board. But I want you guys to really practice this. And so what I want you guys to do, your action step is message someone in the community, right? You guys by now have your Miro boards done. Message someone in the community and say, hey man, let's do some sales call role plays. Let's go back and forth together and let's just train each other up. Make sure we've got our pitches down. Make sure we sound really organic. Make sure our tone is really good on our sales calls, and let's just go for it, right? And so if you guys can be jumping on calls and do it with a few different people, it doesn't just need to be one person, do it with a few different people, right? Like I keep saying, guys, if you can make friends in this program and you're in it together, I promise you guys will kick more ass than doing it by yourself. This is not a one-man show, right? Make some friends here in this program. Message each other, set up a call, practice, booking in your Calendly, right? Set up a Calendly call with each other and go through the whole script together. Keep on going, keep on going. And if you can get this down really nice and smooth, you guys are going to fly through it. So hopefully that makes sense in terms of how you use your Miro board. And yeah, guys, if you have any questions, shoot me a question on this directly, right? So hopefully that's all good. I'll catch you guys later.